So welcome to the final day of Summer Zen with Jackie Rose. And we are on day 3 of week 4, which is our final week. Let's take a nice deep breath in and out. Start to feel totally relaxed. And just to go jump back to yesterday, I'm calling this pattern funky shattuck right there, or crescent moon. But it could fall under a few different categories, and that's the one we did yesterday. So today, let's start off with our pen. We will be doing shading today to finish this off, but we're going to do a little bit more tangling, and then we'll do some shading. So what we're going to do now is we're going to aura the entire outside of this pattern. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of start here. Right, we're just tracing above these outside lines, just giving it an aura, nice and slow and relaxed, focusing on each stroke, paying attention to what you're doing, letting go of what it looks like. Going nice and slow, turning that tile, sketchbook, paper. Breathing in and out whenever you feel like it. Let the pen be zen. Whenever you feel like drawing, all of a sudden my pen started to go a little wavy, and that's my inner artist coming through. So listen to that, go with it, make it your own. Just like all of us have different ways of writing, like when we write or print or handwrite, it all looks different. Right? So when we draw, it looks different because we're all different. So when you finish that, do it again. We're going to now do another aura. Just imagine you've got a little snake. A snake is going around this shape. It's just kind of going all around, traveling. Okay. Now in that aura that we just drew, we're going to fill it up with orbs. So when I draw my orbs in perfect circles, we just kind of trace along the edge, and then we connect to the previous orb. So it doesn't matter how big, how small, what shape it is. Just pay attention to the actual movement. Nice light touch. Squishing in these balloons, orbs. Call it anything you'd like. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see. That was kind of far away. So I just kind of trace along the edge, focusing on each stroke. Each orb is deliberate. Each orb wants your undivided attention. Letting go of what it looks like. It doesn't matter what it looks like. We're in the present moment, letting everything go. Breathing, going nice and slow. Turning that sketchbook or tile to get a comfortable position. If you have a real small area, you can, barely touch the paper when you draw those orbs. And if it's too small, you can just put in stripes or lines. If your orb was real skinny, and if you can't fit an orb in, you can just put in stripes. And whenever you catch yourself speeding up, just become aware of it. Take a breath and slow it down. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed, they're not tense. So I'm barely touching the paper, very light touch. Okay, so now we're going to do one more thing before we start to shade. And that is we're going to go back to our first pattern, brixtie, from day one. And we're going to put a few brixties on the outside here. You can make them nice and big if you want to. And I'm just going to put a few single ones here and there, just randomly. Okay. Now one other thing, if you like, you can add some fescues, which is kind of an arced line with a little loop on the end. You can holly bow it, which means going underneath. So these are a lot of fun little embellishments to add. Just a little fescue here or there, any way you like. You can make them wavy, curvy, straggly. So I can maybe do a little wave here. I find these a lot of fun to draw, and they make great embellishments on lots of different tangles, designs. And one last thing before we start to shade, if you'd like, you could put in some little freckles around some of these fescues just by putting in some dots. So each dot is on purpose. Each dot is mindful. It's hard to do with dots. We just want to go dot, 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 dot. But we can just kind of bring in some nice mindful dots, freckles, randomly. It's almost like an aura. And when you're done, you can cap your pen and get your pencil and your tortillon ready. And we first need to do our tortillon toast. That's something that I do in all of my classes. Never missed a tortillon toast in any of my classes. So when I count to 3, you'll just say tortillon with me, okay? 1, 2, 3, tortillon. Very good. So now let's pick up our pencil, keep our tortillon nearby, and we'll do some shading. So let's start first with brixties, the first, what we did the first day of this pattern. And wherever these stems are kind of going underneath, think of that as a tunnel. We can put a little graphite. I use the side of the tip of the pencil because it shades better by using the side. I'm just going to put a little bit on either side of that stem. And it's hard to see the shading. You could see it, but it shows up a lot more clearer on but you can see where it is. And then I'll take the tortillon and just blend it in, staying very close. You can push it out just a little bit. So I'm gonna do that on maybe not every one, but a lot of them. It doesn't have to be on all of them. Maybe just randomly. And if you feel like shading a different way, pay attention to that inner artist. There are many ways to shade. This is just one. You can shade any way you like. There's no rules. There's no right or wrong. We don't have to worry about where the light source is coming from or anything like that. We just use shading to kind of give it a little oomph, make it pop, give it a 3D effect at times. So really just makes a difference. So I have my light on so you don't see them as much. So if I turn my light off, you can see the shading a little bit better, but then it's hard for me to see what I'm doing. But let's give it a shot. Now, for the ones that come out on the side, I'm going to do the tips, either side, either ends of the tips. So I have a nice highlight in the middle. So day 4 is usually a little bit longer than the other days because of the shading. And I'm going to take what's left of my tortillon and just kind of put a little bit on either end here. Don't even have to use my pencil for that. And I can put that on other areas. I'm going to put my light on again so I can see what I'm doing here. Now I'm also going to take my tortillon and just kind of brush through these orbs. I'm not putting any graphite. I'm just kind of cleaning off my tortillon, kind of brushing over these orbs, not worrying about where it's going to land. Just kind of giving it a nice shade sporadically. So not all the orbs will be covered with shading. It's just a sporadic thing. Okay. And now we're going to shade Funky Shattuck. I'm calling it Funky Shattuck. You won't find, I don't think you'll find Funky Shattuck on the website, but you'll find Shattuck. I mean on like tanglepatterns.com or Google. Or you'll find Crescent Moon too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take randomly, not all of them because there's a lot here, but you could do all of them if you want. I'm going to see how these lines kind of look like it's going underneath here. I'm just going to put a little graphite right where it looks like it's going underneath. And then blend that in, staying very close to that edge. And a little trick is you can just hold your pencil in one hand and your tortillon in another and just switch off rather than having to put down the pencil each time. So either one is fine, but I find, thought that was a nice little tip I got from another tangler or another CZT to just kind of switch hands. If you're able. And also I'm taking what's left of my tortillon in these little small areas and just kind of giving it some shading. I've been worrying about where it goes. So I do, as you know, these were free videos and I hope that you've enjoyed them. And the only thing I ask is to give this video a thumbs up. So if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a little thumbs up icon. All you have to do is click on it to say that you like the video. It doesn't show who you are. I'll never, it doesn't show that, but it does help me with my ratings or something like that. And it makes me feel good when I see people actually liked the videos. And then look for classes. I'll be doing a class in August most likely, and then September we're gonna be back in business doing lots and lots of classes on Zoom, some in person. So just check that out. Check out the website, get on the newsletter if you're not on. And remember, you don't have to, but part of the Zentangle method is to sign your artwork. And you might want to date it as well. You can do that if you'd like, but at least sign it. And I'm going to just put down here the patterns we did today was, I'm just going to put Tipple for the orbs, and because that's usually what they call it. And then fescue was those nice little, see my handwriting? See, we all write differently. I'm sure you don't write like I do. So we're all going to draw differently. So let's take a nice deep breath in and out. Let's turn our tile. Let's see how it looks going in different directions. admire what you've done. Really appreciate it. If you don't like it, wait an hour, wait a day, wait a week, and I promise you, you will like it better. If you like it now or if you love it, that's great. Admire what you've done. That's part of the Zentangle method. And just most importantly, hopefully you're feeling nice and relaxed. And if you feel like continuing to draw and add to this, then go ahead. This is your creation. And please post a copy of what you've done on the designated Facebook page if you are on Facebook. And that'll be in the description or on the website, facebook.com/rejuventangle. So have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.